was gonna bring my holiday hat and I forgot it. I
Yeah,
was gonna have like my little Christmas hat. But anyways,
me too. I was thinking,
so
what can I wear that's like holiday-ish, but
I
that's why I
know, I
have
know. Well, I have my little things over here. Like it's already holiday here. I'll
yeah,
put my little like
all
my
decor
little
stuff.
thing.
Yeah. Can you believe it? It's Christmas already almost. Two
Oh
weeks.
my God. 2 weeks. 2 weeks and this year has gone and then we're starting a whole new year. How's everybody doing? It feels like, oh my God, I don't know. It feels like exciting, but it also feels like, yes, the year is gone. Thank you.
Yeah. 2024 is almost here. And it's been, wow, we've done so much this year too as an organization. Wow, that last meeting where we detailed out all of the accomplishments. And I think, it's funny. I was talking, my sister had posted something on Facebook, and well, she reshared it very like silently. And then she shared it to us in our sister group. And I said, why don't you post that on LinkedIn? And, this is such an accomplishment. And so we got into the conversation of humble brag. We don't on it, the hesitancy, like, no, I don't want to seem, and this is what she said, I don't want to seem like I'm bragging. And it just reminded me of all of these things that we accomplished throughout the year that if you don't write it down or you don't like shout out, number one, people are inspired by what you do. People see what you're doing and it inspires them to, go after something. And two, like, man, we forget. Time happens. Time it's like, what did I do this year? I don't know. We've been so many talks, so many different things, and you forget. So, like, being grateful for what a profound year we've had. We've released a book. We've had amazing conferences, amazing speakers, Dolores Huerta amongst them. We've done so much, and and our community has grown, and we got some good stuff in store for 2024.
Yes, we're actually putting together a year in review little graphic. So we'll be sharing that next week because you're right. It's important to celebrate. And it's not about bragging, it's about recognizing our accomplishments. I
Yeah.
mean, there's been a lot of tears and sweat and
Oh,
sleepless night around, from a lot of people around us. And I think it's a moment to just put a pat on our backs for all the great things and from all the impact that all of us have accomplished. And that then charts the way to then what do we want to do in 2024, right?
yeah.
Because now you have a clear standard that you say, oh my God, if I was able to go through all of this and look at all of it with a smile, then what is possible for 2024?
Yeah.
I think, well, for one, we've had nonstop cafecitos for a year. And I remember that you and I were talking about it, and it was like, that's impossible. Like, we're not going to be able to make it. It's every week. And here we are,
Yes.
52 cafecitos.
Yeah. And
50.
it goes to show with the idea of partnership, divide and conquer, right? It would have been difficult for any one of us to do it. It could, amongst everything else we have going on. And then together, we divided and we conquered. And every week we have this cafecito. So this is exciting. Yeah.
I know, and we have a lot of plans for next year in terms of how we're gonna continue to create impact through these cafecitos, which turn also into blogs, give great visibility to our members
Yeah.
and to experts all around, which is awesome. So join us. Don't miss out because we have a lot of great surprises for next year. I also wanted to highlight because you mentioned about our book. And we had a best selling book, which was written in record timings. We did it in 3 months, a little less than 3 months, actually, with 18 amazing authors. And we are right now in the process of writing our volume 3 with 16 new authors to be launched again in March of next year. So it's going to be exciting, and that's just going to continue to become uh, a yearly thing to highlight so many brave stories of
Mhm.
outstanding Latinas that need to share their story and the impact that they've created.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think overall as a community, what we've done, as we've seen just so many more Latinas starting businesses, so many more Latinas eager for leadership development and moving up that ladder, stop, understanding that staying dormant in the mentality of I'll just stay at this really good job for as long as I can has now is like falling by the wayside, and people are taking that power back into their hands and understanding I got to level up if I want to move up. And I got to start a side business and start understanding business. And I think that that is so beautiful to see, that that our community has gotten to be, because we're capable. We're more than capable. So now it's
Yeah.
the execution part. So.
Yep, absolutely. The other thing that I wanted to highlight, because when you talked about all the things that we accomplished, I went back and looked at our slide of the things.
Mm,
The Exterior Latina Awards. I mean, we had 165 women nominated for these awards. 165, and I remember that when we were just going, well, not us, but we were sending to the nomination committee all of these. I just remember like skimming quickly through some of them. It was impressive, like the amount of, to your point, of Latinas that are just creating great silently,
yeah.
creating the impact. And I think that the silence is not helping all of us, because it
Mhm.
is about the recognition and about our work and our worth, that needs to be validated. So I was excited to see all of these incredible Latinas being nominated. Unfortunately, only 9 could be highlighted this year, but we tried to, as much as possible, share the accomplishments of everyone, which was really good.
That was great. We had some great, great nominees, and it was beautiful. It was a good event.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are we grateful for
Mm,
this year?
everything, everything. We are grateful for everything. I think there's just so much personally to be grateful for, and then as an organization is just definitely grateful for all that we've done as a community, and then you and I, and overall just as a community. I think just grateful, like I mentioned, to see the evolution of Latinas, to see how we really are transforming the tables, those corporate tables. um,
Yeah.
and that's exciting.
So I do have a list of people that I wanna show gratitude for our board, because they've been there by our side this year, just sharing their thoughts, their ideas, their contacts, letting us grow, because we've grown, like you say,
Mm.
a good deal this year, and we have aggressive plans for next year. So that's been exciting. Our different partnerships with the Latino Donor Collaborative, and Ana Valdez, who have been just extraordinary in sharing their support. Amplify Latinx over here in Massachusetts, and Eneida, Roman, Valerie Solesi with Casita Cultural Latina. They've also been amazing at supporting us. We had our first in-person event in Boston, through Eastern Bank and KPMG, and Dulce Orozco, who's one of our members, and Leonela, and a wonderful team that just put their effort and their heart to be able to do that together. And we're planning for great event in 2024. And I think all of that, all of the people that have joined us in our mission, and it has just been extraordinary. So I do want to highlight many of them, and I'm thinking right now, I know I'm missing a ton of people.
Yeah. A ton. Um, yeah, and that was a great event. We got you guys got TV coverage up there. It was amazing. Um, awesome.
Yes,
And we have
yes,
Miami coming up in January, so that's going to be awesome. That'll be the first one down here since pre-COVID. So if you're in the Miami or South Florida market, from Palm Beach down, um, definitely register for that event. You're not going to want to miss that one for sure.
Yeah. And we have another in Jacksonville also coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be exciting. So,
And we have
yay.
a couple of other plans in Vegas, another one. We still have a date to put on the Vegas one. And then a couple also either New York, New Jersey area and
Mhm.
Chicago area. So more coming up for in person. That's going to be exciting. And that's really up to all of you that are, joining this effort to just come together in a community to support each other and
Yeah.
how's the saying like rising all tides. I'm
Um,
very bad at sayings, but
Something rises all time. I know which one you're
something
talking
like
about.
that.
Now we gotta
That's what
Google.
it is. It's just all about supporting each other to rise, and that's going to be
Yeah.
that. That's
A
really
rising tide lifts all ships. I think that's what it is.
there you go. Well, this rising tide is rising everybody because that's what
Yeah.
that's how we originally envisioned it, and that's
Yeah,
really
absolutely. That's actually what was in my heart right now. Is, you know what? I think we don't. There are many people that are watching this show right now or watching this episode, whether you're watching it live or the restream, and you're thinking, okay, number one, you need a community of women. You want to feel like you are home amongst peers, amongst thought leaders, amongst other women that understand you and also can help direct you or open a door for you. That's one thing that I think is so critical too. Many are leaving dreams in the back burner, waiting for the right time to execute. But how we have observed, man, time is going by so fast. There is no better time than the moment right now to go ahead and think about how you can execute that dream that you've had, that side business or that opportunity that you wanted to pursue, right? There is no moment better than the present to be really intentional and ambitious about what you need to execute because ya la vida va a pasar. And once that happens, you're going to say, oh man, I wish I could have. That decade was this, and, I didn't get to, I'm not, I hear from women all the time, older women that are telling me like, I'm not where I thought I would be at this age. And none of us want to be that way, right? But that happens by life because tiempo pasa and you think tomorrow's going to be another day to execute. But I want to encourage you, if you're watching this, to find the moment to say to yourself, the time is now to execute. And if you are alone, trying to figure it out alone, there's no better community than United Latinas because we are the galvanizers. We are the ones that are going to get you amped up and provide some of the tools that you need to execute on some of those things. I mean, the most critical of tools, one, the business side, the personal development side, and then now we have the public speaking aspect of it, which I think whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a professional, either, public speaking is one of the most invaluable skills that you can have in your arsenal to grow. So I think that should be alone something to motivate someone to say, you know what, I can be amongst a community where I can practice my public speaking. I can get opportunities to speak. I get opportunities to share and level up my skills and have a community. I think that the moment is now to pull the gun and join us, right? Pull. What is it? I love how as Latinos we kind of sometimes change these idioms and these sayings, but I want to encourage that like this is the time for all of us to really push, make 2024 your best year. Individually and as a group. And I think that we do that so well in harmony. And we got some great community tools that are going to be launching in 2024 in January. So stay tuned for that. We are really, really excited about that.
It's exciting today that we were reviewing it and we were looking at it and playing around with it. I was just thrilled. Like I've been like, somebody with a new toy. And I've worked in toys, so I know the feeling. And this was really exciting. It's really going to turn around in terms of how we're going to be able to support each other, because that's really what we need,
Yeah.
the support and being able to share best practices. It feels like we're always starting to start from scratch and rebuild from scratch. again and again and again. And what we're going to have in store for 2024 is going to be the opportunity to, let's not start from scratch. How about that? Let's start from
Yeah.
something that's already built, so that then we have that upper hand and build from there together, right? And whatever journey everybody's in, just being able to take off from there and not have to redo, because it's so tiring and so, you know, um, cuando se te quitan las ganas, right? I was
Yeah.
going to say re-energizing, but no, that's not the word. It's de-energizing.
Yeah.
Right? When you
Yeah.
just have to do things all over again, again and again and again. After a while, you get really tired. So
Yeah.
when I was looking at this tool, that we're going to be sharing with all of you, starting the new year, I'm just so thrilled about all the things, all the possibilities. Right?
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be exciting, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we
That's,
have in store? Oh, we have our March conference. We already have a date for that, which is exciting, towards the end of March.
yeah.
So we'll be posting hold the dates shortly so that everybody holds your date. It's going to be towards the end of March. That one's going to be virtual, like we've always done them, but new things coming up. And then in September, we're going to have our in-person conference, and that one's going to be exciting as well, because we're
Yeah.
going to go back to in person.
It's going to be a
So
destination event. So everybody get ready and plan to come to our Hispanic Heritage Month conference in person. That's going to be,
yeah, yeah, with a lot of really great things and experiences, because it's going to be all about you, right? And how can you reconnect, re-engage, re-energize, and just come out of there with the mindset of, we're taking over the world, because we said it in our conference this year, right? We're taking over the world. So now we're acting on it. It's not just a saying up in the air. We're really making the plan to make sure that everybody has what they need to be able to take over whatever space you're in. So that's going to be exciting as well.
mm-hmm.
Also, like, the year hasn't started and I'm already like, oh my God, all of these things that we need to do.
Yeah.
Um, we also have a workshop coming up at the end of January. I should have all these dates in front of me.
Oh,
Let
our
me pull them.
leadership, our speaker circle, and we have a leadership meeting. Um,
We have a leadership meeting already set up. Um,
you know
I'm
what? I'm going to
pulling
put
up.
in the chat the link to our calendar for those of you who want
Yeah,
all of this
I
stuff
think
to,
that's important.
yeah.
But we have, oh my God, my bandwidth is not working right now. Okay, we have our leadership meeting coming up on January 17th. So that one is coming up. We have our Latina Speaker Circle. We have 3 so far. They've been amazing. We have some surprises for the January one. If you're a premium member and part of the Latina Speakers Club, that one's free. If you're not, but still want to join, it's a very, very low fee. It's $25 to attend, or you can become part of our Latina Speakers Club and go and be free, attend all of these for free. So we have exciting that's happening on January 18th. And then we have our first workshop of the year, which is all about self-care. And how do we use self-care to empower our day? Because when I think about all the things that we have to do, we get exhausted just by thinking about them. But we need that energy. We need that daily energy to be able to get us through all the things that we want to do. And Karina Mueller is going to come in and is going to share with us amazing, amazing tactics that you can do like very easily, very quickly every day so that you can then re energize and go back at it and be able to power your day ahead. So that one's going to be very exciting. And that one's happening on January 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So stay on the lookout. Well, actually, you can go in and register. It's already live on our events page as well. So that one's exciting as well.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple for business building workshops also happening in February. So the dates will be coming
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah. That's going to be, we think about self-care because I was, as you were saying that, I was like, you know what? It's so true. It can be easy to get inundated. And I think we're always looking for ways that we can find, because there are times when you are in your flow, right? You're like, no matter what's, I am like getting things done. And you are just feeling like, I'm getting all this stuff done and I feel so accomplished. And then you're out of that, right? Then it's like our body is just like life. It has its ebbs and flows. And we want to continuously find that place of productivity where we feel most productive. We enjoy that so much. And self-care and well-being, especially when we have like a million devices, right? And we're consistently on some device, there's just hearing the statistics of just like depression and people really going through some hard stuff, and that's completely understandable. um, but it's also, how do we get out of that, right? Because we are the ones responsible ultimately for our own health. No one's going to come and rescue us. It's up to us to really become aware of what we're going through and give into some best practices and tools that we could use to continuously find ourselves where we are, practicing that self-love, and understanding that worthiness, and then finding the spaces where we can, whether it's putting on headphones or doing something that we can be and find ourselves being our most productive, I think is great. And I think all of that kind of encompasses the well-being, amongst other things, right? I always talk about, as we're aging, um, you know, I always bring that up. It's almost like a dirty word, though. It's almost like it's become, I
It
feel,
is.
why
I
is the word?
know, I know. But we're going to tackle that as well. Because, I mean, we have members of all different ages, but those of us that are, heading into our more seasoned and expert years,
Yeah,
we need to learn how to still feel, productive and young at heart, right? And not feel ashamed of the things that naturally happen in our bodies. And that's okay. It's just part of what everybody goes through. And how
yeah,
can we go through them in a way that, still keeps us going and with our spirits young?
yeah,
And I know that I've seen people like, my mom and other incredible women that are in their 70s, 80s, even my grandma when she was in her 90s, like they were just waking up every day and doing all their stuff amazingly. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to be like that when I grow to be their age. Right. So
yeah.
how can we keep that? I was actually looking at an article the other day when, and don't quote me on these numbers because I may be getting them slightly wrong, but there was like in the thousands the number of people over the age of 100 around the world.
Oh wow.
So it's like 30,000 or 40,000 people over 100 around the world. But in the next decade, because of a lot of, the way that we are living in a general way, in a healthier way, that number is going to go dramatically up to in
Mm.
the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, that's
So it
great.
just shows how we're slowly heading into becoming more of us to that hitting that 100 mark. But
Yeah,
that means that we also, from a mental health perspective, we need to keep ourselves on our toes, right?
Yeah.
Because one thing is that maybe our body is getting there, but maybe our mind is not. And I see that with people that are close to me, that they're physically they're in a healthy way, but in their minds not necessarily. So I think that's where we need to keep ourselves,
Yeah.
tapping into all of these. How can we stay active? How can we stay productive? How can we
Yeah.
stay doing things so that our minds are also working and connected? So that's
Mhm.
something that we need to learn as well, and not see it as, I don't want to know, kind of thing. De eso no me hables. No?
Yeah. No, that I think that that's one of the key things that are critical to speak about is all of that. How we think, and I would on those numbers, I was thinking, oh man, that's in up in Asia because those they're living longer. They have all these old ancient techniques and things that they do. But I definitely would love to see that across this Western side of the world. Um, but all of that is critical, right? You're right, like all of that is how do we keep our minds active? We have so much more potential, and what's that quote? Somebody said it again yesterday, and it's we are not afraid. We are afraid of not what our inabilities. We're afraid of our capabilities. We're more afraid of what that a potential that we know we have that we are not tapping into. And there is I believe science has led us to believe, how advanced we are in an understanding of the human brain and these strategies that we could use to really tap into some power. I mean, listen, the other night I wasn't getting enough sleep. This is a trick for some of you. And like, because I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and I'm like, I know I have to get 6-7 hours of sleep because your brain does healing and cleaning. It's right when you're sleeping. So as soon as I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm awake. And I probably only slept for like 3 hours. So I literally like focus my attention here. And then I just start talking to my brain. You are sleeping for 6 to 7 hours. You're sleeping for and I literally, when I do that to myself, me quedo dormida. Like I'll stay. I'm like, oh wow, I slept good. So like little things like that of just understanding how our role in our creation, and all of that through an understanding of how our body works, because we want to live our best lives. I want to live my best life, and I know most of us do. So we got to get those tools. This is yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I know that Karina is gonna share with us a lot of all of those tools, because she's been awesome in the past sharing many. So definitely you won't want to miss that one as well. Can you
Yeah.
believe 30 minutes are gone?
30
Like,
minutes
I
ago.
feel like
Yep.
we were just getting started.
I know, and we had some guests. We invited some UL community members, but I guess I don't know. They didn't show up. So show up, guys. Show up to your life. Show up to opportunities. Show up to doing these things because this is what's going to get you more exposure, more just comfort in being alive and showcasing yourself. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
but yes, 30 minutes is up. Um, it's not up. It's only
It's
time.
basically, it is up. It is up. We are good. We had a blast. This has been an amazing year. Thank you to everybody for being there by our side, and let us know how else we can help you. We have big, bold, very bold goals for 2024, but it's all for all of you. I mean, this is our dream, but it's a shared dream that we know that goes across with everyone that we talk to. So this is just a platform, and this, I mean, United Latinas is just a platform to help all of you. So let us know how else we can contribute. What else do you need? Because we'll make it happen, but we need to hear from you so that we
Mhm.
can then help you make your dreams come true. That's our mission. That's what we want to do. And we want to make sure that Latinas really get what they need in terms of wealth, in terms of, uh, credibility, in terms of visibility, in terms of, just having the life that we deserve. That's all what we're here for. So let us know, connect with us, join us, and we hope that you have a wonderful end of your year. And let's just like get together in January again. Well, we still have one more cafecito
One more
next week.
cafecito, and then the last week we'll have a cafecito break.
We'll have a cafecito break, literally, to recharge,
Yes.
to reset everything.
Yes.
And we're coming back in January with all new things, which is
Awesome.
it's exciting. Well, you and I are not resetting, but the rest will be resetting. So that
Yes.
we'll have all the things for everybody in January. It's going to be
Yes.
exciting. It's an
Yes.
exciting year.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank
Awesome.
you guys for joining. Love, hearts, energy, good energy, and
Everything.
yeah, write down your goals. Write down
Oh,
your goals for
very
next year.
important. Very important. Sandra, always a pleasure.
All right. Take care, guys. Be well.
Have a good one, everyone.